Oh, sick now. How's everybody doing on this MLK shutdown Monday? 4 degrees here in New York City, in Newark, New Jersey, and all points in between. You are on the score with Freak Nasty. Our phone lines are open. 410-929-1128, 410-929-1128, wherever you're calling from. Freak Nasty wants to hear from you today, okay? Lots of stuff to cover, and I hope you're having a beautiful Monday, toasty, warm Monday, that is. This is the first broadcast, the first show we are doing of the new year, of the score, with yours truly, Freak Nasty. So let's make it a special one, okay? Because we got a lot of stuff to cover today, especially this government shutdown thing, you know. On Friday, some of y'all ain't gonna get a check. Now, if you're already of the black community, this should not be a surprise because I'm sure we already know what's like not to receive a check. So to these white folks, you know, living in Alaska and all those places, I'm sure it's gonna come as a surprise to them that you could actually make do without getting a regular paycheck. Now, it's amazing to me how many people out there are living paycheck to paycheck who are not able to make ends meet by not having any means, anything saved up in their accounts. And government workers that be. You know, I've always heard that the government workers got paid well. If you're a government worker, I want to hear from you. I want to hear how your payment is going. You know, how much you guys get paid. And why is that, you know, there's a lack of safety net going on in your savings accounts. All right? Now, I say this to say that, mind you, I'm a person who just quit my job of working for the same company over the last 17 years so I could come in and entertain you folks. All right, so I know what it's like to not to receive a paycheck. Trust me. And to have a family to support and receive no paycheck. So it is no small feat on its own. All right, so my heart goes out to some of y'all, and I'm going to be showing your plight later on in the show. But I still want to get your phone calls. Write down the number, 410-929-1128. Lots of stuff in the news. Boy, that number 45, ain't he something? Woo, sick now. I'll tell you, man, he's like herpes, man. It just keeps on giving, doesn't it? He created this shutdown mess, took ownership for it weeks before it happened, and now he is the sole person that has the power to stop it all, and he ain't trying to. He has no empathy for the folks, you know, who's going through a hard time, or because he wants a big old wall. You know what I say? I say we should give him that damn wall and then graffiti the whole damn 200 miles of it. I don't know. Just thinking outside the box here. Just thinking outside the box, because it makes no damn sense for y'all to be going through what you're going through right now, and as much effery that this dude is giving y'all, you know, and the 31%, mind you now, the 31% of y'all in America land is holding the country hostage. It's causing 800,000 employees not to go to work. I tested these Negroes who work at the TSA, who work at the airport last week when I was flying back from vacation capital of the Caribbean, Haiti. I had a stopover in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. So I said, you know, I was reading all over the place about how they're on a work slowage. So I said, you know what? I have a North Carolina driver's license. That's not a real ID. And you are not supposed to enter any government facilities or travel on a non-real ID driver's license. So I said, you know what? Let me test these dudes, see if they're really up to par, if the strike is really popping. So I gave them I get a TSA agent my North Carolina non-real driver's license, non-real ID license. And lo and behold, he checked off my boarding pass and had me walk along, which was not supposed to happen, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. It was not supposed to happen. He was supposed to ask me for another governmental ID that's bona fide. So if it was lax back then, last Tuesday, I imagine how much laxer it has gotten in the days preceding of day number 31 of this government shutdown. I would especially like to hear from the TSA agents if they're letting any terrorists through. If they're letting you walk through there with more than 3 ounces of liquid in your possession. Call me up if you're a TSA or government worker. I want to talk to y'all. 410-929-1128. Because if for this to be America and for your government to still be having you guys in that slave mentality of having you guys work for free, now that is a disgrace in itself. Where the pickets and everything, and they're riding the streets. Oh, it's coming. Best believe the riding is gonna come. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, because there's gonna be a moment when guys like me won't be able to go withdraw any money from the ATM machine. All right, hold the line. I gotta take this call, and we'll be right back. Of course, people would want to call me while I'm doing a live broadcast, right? The important phone calls coming while during the live broadcast. So I had to go run and take a quick break, deal with real life situations, as some of you government workers are quite aware of, folks. Okay. All right. Now let's get the party started. Where are my government workers that were supposed to be calling me in at 410-929-1120? Let me know about their plight and ordeal. So, a lot of news to get to. Oh boy, did I say Trump is like herpes, keeps on giving? Well, that is nothing compared to the former mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani, who just don't know how to keep his damn mouth shut. Over the week and the weekend, he just kept on stepping into it. He was asked by Chuck Todd of Meet the Press, about Michael Cohen telling the truth, the truthiness of Michael Cohen, in addition to the Trump Tower Moscow meeting. And this is what he said. Okay. Any day now. Okay. I don't know what happened there. Okay, live radio.
Well, you just...
So why ain't the first one playing? Interesting. Anywho, then he was asked by a journalist about the Russia dates, about how long were these conversations, was these issues at play with the Moscow meeting and the dates and stuff, and this is how he responded.
Well, you just said there that you said the president is not sure when talks ended. I'm guessing you had to answer this question in written form by Mr. Mueller.
Right. That's what we answered.
So, right, it's your understanding it ended when? In January, as Michael Cohen incorrectly testified to? Or okay.
Well, it's our understanding that they went on throughout 2016. Weren't a lot of them, but there were conversations. Can't be sure of the exact dates, but the president can remember having conversations with him about it.
Throughout 2016.
The president also remembered. Yeah, probably up to, could be up to as far as October, November. Our answers cover until the election.
Our answers covered up until the election, he says. So that means up until November. Okay. So, at first I don't see what the big deal was. The president, our current president, Dotard 45, he is an international business person. He had a career before he became president. So it would only seem fitting that he would be doing businesses internationally. And I guess one of the international countries could be Russia. Why didn't he just own up to it when during the whole time, he was asking for Russians to look into Clinton's emails? Is beyond me. We would not be having this discussion right now. There would not be any talks of collusion, that he got going on with Russia. And Giuliani was asked about collusion and the president, and this is how he responded.
I never said there was no collusion between the campaign or between people in the campaign.
Yes, you
have no idea if I have not. I said the President of the United States.
No collusions between the campaign, but not the president himself. Noticing how he's distancing the president from the campaign. This is, folks, this is the moment in time when you start throwing folks over the board, under the bus, and over the board of the ship, because it's a sinking ship and he realizes it's about to go down. That's what's happening right now, okay? They're trying to clean house as quickly and as fast as they can because they know with this Mueller report, it is about to go down. Because for the longest, you had 45 talking about there is no collusion.
There was no collusion with the campaign. There was no collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian people. There has been no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russians or Trump and Russians.
So they got Trump saying no collusion between the Russian the Trump campaign or himself, and now you have Giuliani saying this.
I never said there was no collusion between the campaign or between people in the campaign?
Yes,
I
you
have no idea if I have not. I said the President of the United States.
Wow, what a big difference, huh? What a big difference that makes, doesn't it? Everybody trying to save their butts now. No collusion here, no collusion there. See me, catch me if you can. We're playing whack-a-mole with the collusion. That's all we're doing. So people are starting to wake up to what's going on here. And a lot of the folks are saying it's time to lock him up. Impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. I don't think you guys realize how impeachment works, okay? The House has to bring charges of articles of impeachment. The Senate has to have the trial and actually charge and remove the president after a guilty verdict is rendered. The problem with this scenario is that as long as you have the turtle McConnell there, and the Republicans running stuff, no way will they be able to ever convict the president. Okay? Keep that in mind. So all of y'all who want to hear impeachment and impeach the president here, impeach the president there, it's all smoke and mirrors, because as long as the Republicans control the Senate, 45 ain't going anywhere. Best thing y'all could do is vote him out of office. All right? He only got 30% of the vote. So if you're 7% don't sit out the next election, then that's the best kind of impeachment it can be. Because any other thing, any other time, you're wasting your time coming from a man who loves to say
there was no collusion with the campaign. There was no collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian people. There has been no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russians, or Trump and Russians.
If he says there was no collusion, I am one to believe him that there is no collusion, because he said it. He's the president. Why would the president lie? Politicians don't lie. It's living proof. He said there's no collusion. I'll take him at his word. Do y'all? Won't y'all? No collusion. No conviction, no collusion, no impeachment. It's that simple. Come on, we all know what's going on here. We all know what's going on here. But for y'all to believe that he's going to get impeached, I don't know what plan you guys are living on, seriously. Call me up, 410-929-1128. Freak Nasty, want to hear from you on The Score. And we are keeping score of what's going on. Today is MLK Day. Martin Luther King would be turning over in his grave right now if he could hear what Pence has been saying about him over the weekend. Our dear good old Vice President and child Boy Scout looking guy, Mike Pence, had gone on TV to compare Trump to Martin Luther King.
I think what the American people saw the president do yesterday was say, I want to set the table for us resolving this issue in a way that achieves his objectives to secure the border, end the humanitarian and security crisis, end the government shutdown, but also to bring together the Democrats' priorities to accomplish that. That's what the American people expect us to do. And honestly, the hearts and minds of the American people today are thinking a lot about it being the weekend where we remember the life and work of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. One of my favorite quotes from Dr. King was, "Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy." You think of how he changed America. He inspired us to change through the legislative process to become a more perfect union. That's exactly what President Trump is calling on the Congress to do. Come to the table in a spirit of good faith. We'll secure our border, we'll reopen the government, and we'll move our nation forward, as the President said yesterday, to even a broader discussion about immigration reform in the months ahead.
Now, I don't know what this Pence guy think he's doing, trying to quote Martin Luther King. I don't think King, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, was for building walls. Bridges, yes. Walls, no. Democratic society, yes. Setting babies, tearing apart babies from the mothers? Probably not. I don't think that was his legacy. Or would that, I don't think he wanted that to be his legacy. Now, if he want to quote King, I have pulled up some very top 10 inspirational King quotes he could freely attribute in the future for next year's MLK Day, okay? All right. If you would like to hear it, here you go. I'm going to do my best MLK impression I can possibly do. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. As a black man, I could get away with my MLK impression, okay? Quote number 2. If a man hasn't discovered something, excuse me, I forgot. I got to get my MLK lingo on. If a man hasn't discovered something he will die for, he is fit to live. Excuse me, I said that wrong. If a man hasn't discovered something he will die for, he isn't fit to live. How you like my MLK impression now, Mike Pence? Quote number 3. As long as there's poverty in this world, no man can be totally rich, even if he has $1 billion. Donald Trump. Oh, that Donald Trump part, that was me. MLK didn't throw that Donald Trump part. I did that. Okay, that was me. Quote number 4. Negroes of the United States follow the people of India, have demonstrated that nonviolence is not sterile passivity, but a powerful moral force. Yes. Sounds better, doesn't it, coming from a black man, as opposed to a middle-aged white guy quoting Martin Luther King. Quote number 6 of MLK. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart. Ain't that prolific? Quote number 7 from MLK. All right? Listen carefully, folks. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Now, don't tell me you don't feel like that's MLK talking to y'all right now. Quote number 8. We must use time creatively in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. You could have sworn you heard MLK talk right now, didn't you? Number 9. Famous quote from MLK. Listen closely, Mike Pence. Somewhere we must come to see that human progress never rolls in on the wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless effort and persistent work of dedicated individuals. Do I got what it takes to be MLK Jr. or what? And last MLK quote for Mike Pence and any other middle-aged white guy who want to try to misrepresent what Mr. King has said or stood for. Mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. Atta boy, Dr. King. Atta boy. Now, as if my notable quotes wasn't enough, the Reverend Al Sharpton was not having any of Pence's shenanigans.
Well, I think that, first of all, if you listen to the quote, I think the vice president did not really understand what he was quoting. Dr. King said make American democracy, live up to American democracy. Well, you don't live up to the promise of American democracy by barring those that want to seek asylum here because they're not enjoying democracy where they are. So not only is it a miscarriage of Dr. King's quote, he doesn't even seem to understand the English and the language Dr. King was using. But Dr. King has been quoted. I played last night on Politics Nation with his son sitting with me, Martin III, talking about the Berlin Wall and saying how we should not build walls. For this president and vice president to not even have a scheduled appearance on King Day, but to misuse a quote of Dr. King while they have 800,000 federal workers not being paid, when Dr. King was assassinated marching for workers in Memphis. Let's not forget, Mika, Dr. King was in Memphis fighting for workers. Workers today are being furloughed and not being paid on Dr. King holiday. They had to get gifts in order to keep the Martin Luther King Park open today for Martin Luther King Day. And the president and the vice president would misuse a quote and not even celebrate his official federal holiday. So not only have they closed down federal workers' paychecks, they've in effect ignored a federal holiday that was signed by Ronald Reagan.
Ooh la 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 la. Now, do y'all think the Martin Luther King parks and museums are getting ran down like Yosemite with human feces? Sad what's happening to our country. Now, if there was one person who had put it more eloquently than Al Sharpton about Mike Pence, this weekend must have been like a gang up on Mike Pence weekend. Had to have been. Because all the way out in Vegas, Lady Gaga, of all people, had her 2 cents to put in about our dear vice president.
And to Mike Pence, who thinks it's acceptable that his wife worked at a school that bans LGBTQ, you are wrong. You say we should not discriminate against Christianity. You are the worst representation of what it means to be a Christian. I'm a Christian woman. And what I do know about Christianity is that we bear no prejudice and everybody is welcome. So you can take all that disgrace, Mr. Pence, and you can look yourself in the mirror, and you'll find it right there. Okay, I'm sorry, I got upset for a second.
Now she's saying it. I can't bear her look at her booty, her derriere.
To cut through all his worn-out leather.
She is a little sexy, ain't she? I never knew Lady Gaga had a little booty on her like that. Well, Lady Gaga, how do you do? Holla at your Haitian Lady Gaga. Call me up, folks. 410-929-1128. Freak Nasty. Want to talk to y'all. Want to find out what you're doing about this shutdown. How y'all, living out there. I understand times are tough. It is what it is. You guys got to make ends meet. And as and Lady Gaga put it, but nobody put it more eloquently than Cardi B and the shutdown.
Hey y'all, I just want to remind y'all, because it's been a little bit over 3 weeks, okay? It's been a little bit over 3 weeks. Trump is now ordering, as in summoning, federal government workers to go back to work without getting paid. Now, I don't want to hear y'all motherfuckers talking about, oh, but Obama shut down the government for 17 days. Yeah, bitch, for here. So your grandma could check her blood pressure, and you bitches could go check your pussy in the gynecologist with no motherfucking problem. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't care because y'all don't work for the government, or y'all probably don't even have a job, but this shit is really fucking serious, bro. This shit is crazy. Like, our country is in a hellhole right now, all for a fucking wall. And we really need to take this serious. I feel like we need to take some action. I don't know what type of action, bitch, because this is not what I do, but bitch, I'm scared. This is crazy, and I really feel bad for these people that gotta go to fucking work to not get motherfucking paid. Yeah, bitch, for healthcare, so your grandma could check her blood pressure, and you bitches could go check your pussy in the gynecologist with no motherfucking problem.
I am more and more becoming a Cardi B fan. If this is not what I do. She is like the hip hop, the hip hop version of that Ocasio, whatever, Cortez chick. I gotta hear this again. She's too funny. I gotta hear
Hey
this
y'all, I just want to remind y'all because it's been a little bit over 3 weeks. Okay, it's been a little bit over 3 weeks. Trump is now ordering, as in summoning, federal government workers to go back to work without getting paid. Now, I don't want to hear y'all motherfuckers talking about, oh, but Obama shut down the government for 17 days. Yeah, bitch, for healthcare, so your grandma could check her blood pressure, and you bitches could go check your pussy in the gynecologist with no motherfucking problem. Ooh. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't care because y'all don't work for the government or y'all probably don't even have a job, but this shit is really fucking serious, bro. Ooh. This shit is crazy. Like, our country is in a hellhole right now, all for a fucking wall. Like, we really need to take this serious. I feel like we need to take some action. I don't know what type of action, bitch, because this is not what I do, but I'm scared. This is crazy, and I really feel bad for these people that gotta go to fucking work to not get motherfucking paid. Yeah, bitch, for healthcare, so your grandma could check her blood pressure, and you bitches could go check your pussy in the gynecologist with no motherfucking problem.
I love her. For healthcare. See how bitches go check your... Woo. Now let's see. Billy Gobble Jr. said, what the hell does it matter? Look what Hillary did. Okay. That's a fair question, assessment. But guess what? Hillary's not president. So we need to look at what Trump did, is doing, and continues to do. Because I guarantee you, he's going all full frontal kamikaze on us because he knows one of his family members is about to get ensnared in the whole Robert Mueller investigation thing. That's the only reason why he's going buck wild crazy right now, because he knows the wars are closing in on him. That's all there is to it. It's that simple. It's gonna happen, and it's happening. So now, as a president, he can't, according to the Justice Department, he can't be touched while he's president. But that does not extend to his family, his sons, all right, his daughters. And how come we never hear nothing about Tiffany Trump? And we used to think that she was the aloof of them all. Oh no, she's the smart one. She knew. It's obvious she knows better than to get started her family's wacko crazy life. Tiffany Trump, you smart little thing, you pretending to be away at college, not having anything to do with your family's business affairs. Oh, you're gonna sit back and watch them all get locked up, and then you're gonna have the keys to the kingdom all to yourself, ain't you? You're the smartest one out of them all. You never hear nothing about no Tiffany Trump. I can't even tell you who the hell she's dating. Anybody know who Tiffany Trump is dating? Give me a call, 410-929-1128. We are live. And we are also live right now because I really want to hear from government workers and what's going on with them. Okay, we got about 20 more minutes left in the show. All right, because you governmental workers supposedly is really going through shit right now. And of course, this report by Al Jazeera, things are not pretty.
420,000 federal employees deemed essential are working, but without pay. Another 380,000 have been sent home, also without pay. Like Jorenna Holman, a cashier at the Smithsonian Museum, struggling to make ends meet financially, having not worked in weeks.
How about trying to go to the gas station and get gas and all you have is $5? That's how tough it is.
The paycheck stopped, but the bills did not. She had to make choices: car payment or groceries.
I didn't think this would happen. I didn't think it was going to go through. I went all the way up until the first, when they said, okay, budget is over, you're furloughed, you're laid off until this is over with, and to saying that this is not going to happen. This is not happening.
Can't pay my mortgage, my car notes. I've got 2 daughters in college. Yeah, it is what it is.
Inside, volunteers from World Central Kitchen, a hunger and poverty organization, hand out food. This is the first day they've done this. After most journalists had gotten their stories and left, those in need had not. The lines still extended around the block, while nearby, the man with the guitar still played now all too familiar lyrics.
Oh, man. Things are really rough out there, folks. You know, if you know anybody who's a government worker, you know, give them a payday loan or something. Things are tough out there. You know, if you got it good, you got it to spare, by all means, share. Sharing is caring. In the age of Trump, it really messes my mind, because you have people who've been government workers for decades and they miss 1 or 2 pay periods and the whole world comes crumbling down for them. Now I know there's rent, there's utilities, there's kids in college, there's alimony, palimony, child support, and all this other old means going on out there. But it seems to me, whether you're in the private sector or a government worker, that you are living paycheck to paycheck, day in and day out. We need to change that for 2019. I was watching a report where the U.S. Coast Guard, who is not getting paid for the time being, gets in about, on average, about $4,000 a month during this time of the year in donations. Because of the fact that the government workers are not getting paid, the donation came in for this month alone of January over $400,000 for the Coast Guard. If this keeps up, it's only a matter of time before somebody figures out, why not run the whole government on donation? Now, there's a novel concept, a novel idea. Run the whole damn government based on donations. Think about it. Instead of them taking out your paycheck what they feel like they must through taxes, you donate whatever you want. Beat them to the punch. So therefore, there's no need to take anything out your paycheck anymore for your taxes. You have more direct control about where your tax money goes. Think about that for a second. You know, maybe this government shutdown is an interesting way for us to start a whole brand new business model. You know, one where the whole government runs on donation instead of taxes. I would like that, you know. I'll give it to the organization of my choice. Government organization. Now that'll work. What do you think? Call me up. Let's talk about it. 410-929-1128. Freak Nasty. 410-929-1128 on the score. Now, can we do that that Cardi B again? Because she just be tripping me.
Hey, y'all. I just want to remind y'all, because it's been a little bit over 3 weeks. Okay? It's been a little bit over 3 weeks. Trump is now ordering, as in summoning, federal government workers to go back to work without getting paid. Now, I don't want to hear y'all motherfuckers talking about, oh, but Obama shut down the government for 17 days. Yeah, bitch, for health care. So your grandma could check her blood pressure and you bitches could go check your pussy in the gynecologist with no motherfucking problem. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't care because y'all don't work for the government or y'all probably don't even have a job, but this shit is really fucking serious, bro. This shit is crazy. Like, our country is in a hellhole right now, all for a fucking wall. Like, we really need to take this serious. I feel like we need to take some action. I don't know what type of action, bitch, because this is not what I do, but bitch, I'm scared. This is crazy, and I really feel bad for these people that gotta go to fucking work to not get motherfucking paid. Yeah, bitch, for health care. So your grandma could check her blood pressure, and you bitches could go check your pussy in the gynecologist with no motherfucking problem.
I say Cardi B for president. Is she legal? I mean, is she a U.S. citizen? Was she born here? Anybody know? She should run for president. She tell like it is. Ocasio-Cortez, the hip hop version of her. This is not what I do. But you do realize, listen to her talk. It is people like her, with accents like her, 45 is trying to keep out of the country. Accent-wise alone, I don't, I could relate. As an immigrant myself with an accent, sounding different from everybody else, I could relate. But here's the thing, though, about building this wall that people can cut through, plow through, go underneath, or go over. That's not much of a deterrent, is it? The thing about the wall is all psychological, because by the year 2050, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, the WASP of this country, will be the minority. So the Midas that sound like Cardi B will be the majority. All right? So the fabric of this country is changing before the eyes of the Republican establishment, the Democratic white establishment, and they're afraid. That's why they're trying to stymie the population growth of the brown and the blacks. Think about that for a second. They're about to be the minority, much the same way the Indians became the minority. And they're going to be ran over by Hispanics and Asians and blacks. The cultural melting pot that they don't want to see happen. Can you blame them for being scared? Can you blame them for wanting to put a wall? Think about it for a second now. That's why they call the people from Latin America who's trying to come over here for a better life a caravan. Not no asylum seekers, but a caravan. That sounds more dark. You're going to be ran over, inundated by a caravan. Folks, it's serious business out there. And the demographics of this country is changing. Whitey's running scared. Black is getting shot up by the cops left and right. What is one really to do? If you really truly love this country, if you really truly want to see America become better than it was yesterday, tomorrow, this is your moment right now. Your moment to shine. Your moment to make your voices heard. Because our country right now, for better or for worse, is being hijacked by 31% of Americans. 31% of Americans is now running this country. The same 31% who are afraid to be a minority by 2050. It's going to happen. Why do you think you've been hearing commercials on the radio about low testosterone, or Americans are not producing enough testosterone as their fathers and grandfathers and their fathers and grandfathers before them? And all this manhood stuff. The powers that be are running scared with this country. They're running scared because they've never experienced anything like this before. They opened their borders for quite some time. Now that what they reaped is being sowed, they don't know what to do with themselves. That's why they're running scared. And that's why they're holding on to Trump like he's their great white savior. Do you folks remember the days not too many years ago when Trump used to be celebrated in music and songs and TV shows? Yeah. It wasn't that long ago. Making guest appearance in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Nicki Minaj and the countless others rapping about him, putting his names on in the musical scores. Now the dotard is hated by everybody, outside the 31%. Can you imagine if he just seized on that mantle of being loved again, of being appreciated again by various rappers and entertainers and all this other good stuff? Could you just imagine what that would have been like right now? He truly would have been a president that would have been worshipped. But that is not the case, is it? No. He's low by so many now. Unbelievable. I wonder if that hasn't sinked in yet. "45, you're listening to me, which you probably are. Instead of saying there is no collusion, instead of saying all of that stuff, what if you just like try to go back to the Trump of the 90s that people really adored? You know, it was okay back in the 90s. You know, he was loved even though he was going broke, you know, with bankruptcies all over the place and wasn't paying your contractors and whatnot, and he was trying to kick out black and brown folks from your Trump properties. It's not too late to go back to that old Trump. But you spend most of your day saying dumb stuff, you know? Oh, no collusion.
I think what the...
No collusion.
There was no collusion with the campaign. There was no collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian people. There has been no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russians, or Trump and Russians.
In Russia, there has been no collusions between Trump campaign and Russia. No collusions. No collusions. So that means no jail. No collusion means no jail. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. I'm an ass, ain't I? All right, time to go to another commercial break, folks. People seem to want to call me while I'm doing this radio show. Yeah. Just one of those days, man. When you're a property owner and people are calling you with issues. Costly issues. Well, what you gonna do, you know? End of the show. Freak Nasty gotta go. Let's see. When we're back again tomorrow. Yes, at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 12 Pacific. Hopefully you could join us and call in. I still want to hear from you governmental employees. Maybe I could, start up a governmental employee payday loan service for y'all. Just a thought, thinking outside the box. We got to think about outside the box now. Anyway, you could text or call 410-929-1128. Freak Nasty going off the air till tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Have a good one, and remember to share and tell your friends alike about this broadcast. All right, until next time. I love you.